Breaking down the walls and becoming confident. This is something that we all want to do. Let's break down some walls today. And I'll give you the key to confidence. And it's not what you think. But first, we need to understand what those walls are that you need to break down. These are emotional barriers that get in the way of us feeling confident. You could feel fear, stress, anxiety, sadness. All of these things impact our confidence when we are not recognizing these emotional barriers that hit us, the spaces that rise that we say, I don't have time to look at this. I don't have the capacity to really dive into this emotional pain because I got things to do. We tell ourselves this all the time. Sadly, it is a myth, and we need to be looking at when we are feeling emotional pain or frustration, those emotions that we have labeled as the bad ones. They're not bad. They're just part of our existence. So how do we look into them? How do we own them? That is something that I use a special Hawaiian methodology called Ho'oponopono to deal with. Anything that enters my life that I am feeling negative, frustrated, painful about, sad, I practice these phrases toward whatever that is, and it cleanses the lens of my past and allows me to meet whatever it is I'm facing with curiosity and a new mind, while it's still honoring the emotions that I face and feel and allowing them to resonate through me so I can release them. Ho'oponopono uses the phrases, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, and thank you. And as I phrase those concepts and repeat that mantra towards the emotional spaces that I am avoiding, not wanting to look at or own, it transforms my ability to metabolize those emotions, break down the walls that are keeping me from feeling and diving into what they are and looking at them, and then I can move on. The second thing, after you have done that and looked at those walls and those barriers and really ferreted out how they're hitting you, is understand both your strengths and your weaknesses. We tend to love to swing as humans into extremes of, I'm the best at this, I'm the worst at this. We really need to limit that and walk that middle road. Brene Brown says, don't shrink, don't puff up, stand your sacred ground. Your sacred ground is that place where you hold in confidence all that you are good at. And you know, I have these strengths. I'm good at this. I can do this. As well as you holding your weaknesses, where you say, I know that this is not my area of greatest strength. I will need support and help in this area from others around me in order for me to live in my space of genius, my sacred ground where I am powerful. That way you can move with confidence and power and genius by holding humility of your weaknesses and the power of your strengths as one. That's your sacred ground. The third thing you want to do after you have done that, and you know what that is get really vulnerable. When you become vulnerable, it is showing up as your true, authentic self. You are no longer trying to manipulate others. You are no longer trying to act in a certain way to get a certain outcome. You are simply saying, here I am, on my sacred ground, in all my strength and weakness, standing before you, knowing I can do the things that I want to do. And I am ready. And when you do that, ready to be seen, those that can see you will. It will train your mind to understand that when you show up for real and people recognize you and see you, these are the people that can help you go where you want to go. It will become a watershed moment for you every time in your life when you choose to be vulnerable and act in a way that is in accordance with what you truly believe. I think we all have these moments. They come in business, dating relationships, friend relationships, and frankly, a lot of times we fail. These are where our lies come from. You're asked a question at work. Do you think you have the capacity to do this? Oh yeah, I can totally do it. And you walk away thinking, oh, what have I done? I don't know what to do, right? We fake it. Or outright lie. Hey, are you dating someone else? The answer here, if I want to get lucky tonight, is no. And so you lie. And then you create an environment where there's going to be heartache and pain down the road. Or you do that in another situation, right? So you have these moments and you can look at them, and the vulnerable answer is always the most powerful answer. You know that story or that saying, honesty is the best policy? I used to believe that wasn't true. I used to believe that I should lie in order to avoid punishment. Because to me, when I was a kid in school or coming home late, this is actually a true example, I would come home late. And being on time and being obedient in my home was very important. And if I was 5 to 10 minutes late, I was in as much trouble as if I came in the next morning. And I have ways that I learned that. But once I discovered, oh, so I'm in serious trouble if I'm 5 minutes late, and the seriousness of it doesn't change if I come in the next day. If I was coming home, there was a few times this happened, I was coming home and I realized, oh, I'm late, guys. I'm going to be in big trouble. Let's get out. Let's have a whole night. We'll make a whole night of pain, of trouble for the world, and we're going to do our crazy stuff. And I'll go back in the morning and accept my punishment because I wanted to get the most out of it that I could. And so I chose to not be vulnerable and go face what I wanted and not be honest and face the things that I needed to because I was not being authentic to myself. I was just trying to get away with things. And that became a lie when I would behave this way, that I would inform myself was okay. And it destabilized my ability to even be vulnerable, to be real, to know what was right. Vulnerability is you showing up to be seen regardless. And when you do that, everything you do informs you of who you are and what you are. Then the walls and the barriers that you've had to overcome in your life become the things that inform you of who you are and how to live your life. And it shows you how to act so you can repeat it. And when you meet those watershed moments where you face a question that maybe in your past you would have shrunk from and lied to hide who you are, you can with confidence take the path of vulnerability where you build your authentic self, where you move with confidence and you know, no matter what happens, I showed up here. This is what allows someone like Gandhi to stand in front of the British Empire and say, I do not like your laws, I don't agree with them, they're unfair, and I will go to prison peacefully and let you do your worst to me for breaking these stupid laws. And in doing that, the power he had to act authentically without any acceptance of, this is unfair and fighting for that outcome, he just did what he believed he should do without resisting the outcome. And that changed everything. It's a powerful concept when you can hold on to it, that confidence that you are, when you're being your authentic self, more capable and more powerful than if you lie to get what you want. It informs you and everyone else. And that drops these barriers to your confidence and builds everything that you want so you can act with power. Stand on your sacred ground and move within your strength. Hope you liked the video. Stick with me. I'm James Burnham.